Hello, my amazing learners, and welcome back to the Wisdom English podcast. My name is Sarah, and today we have a very important and useful topic: how to speak English confidently, anywhere, anytime. Speaking English with confidence is a challenge for many learners. Have you ever felt nervous before speaking? Have you ever worried about making mistakes? Well, today, we're going to help you overcome those fears and become a more confident speaker. We'll share why people struggle with confidence, the crucial mindset shifts you need to make, and practical techniques to help you speak without fear. And make sure you stay with me until the very end, because I'll reveal the simple secret that can instantly boost your confidence in any conversation. So, let's start with a big question. Why do so many people struggle with speaking English confidently? There are many reasons, but the biggest ones are often the fear of making mistakes, the fear of judgment, a lack of vocabulary, and general nervousness. I think the fear of making mistakes is a really big one. Many learners hesitate to speak because they worry so much about saying something wrong. They're afraid of using the wrong grammar or the wrong word. But here's the truth I want you to remember. Making mistakes is a natural and necessary part of learning. Even native speakers make mistakes in their own language. Mistakes are not a sign of failure. They are a sign that you are trying and growing. What about the fear of judgment? Oh, that's another major issue. Many learners think, what if people laugh at my English? Or, what if they don't understand me and think I'm not smart? This fear can be so powerful that it stops them from speaking at all. But the funny thing is, most people don't judge you. In fact, they usually admire you for trying to speak their language. They appreciate the effort. Another problem is a perceived lack of vocabulary. When you feel like you don't know enough words, you might feel stuck in a conversation and afraid to start one. But the good news is, you don't need a huge vocabulary to speak confidently. Even with simple words, you can communicate your ideas very well. Clarity is more important than complexity. And let's not forget nervousness. Many learners feel shy, especially in new situations or when talking to native speakers. That's a very common feeling. I remember a student of mine who had learned English for years but was too nervous to speak in front of people. One day, she decided to practice just a little bit every day, speaking to herself in the mirror. After a few months, she became much more confident. Her story is inspiring because it shows that confidence comes with practice. And today, we'll show you exactly how to build it. It all starts with changing your mindset, because confidence begins from within. Now that we understand why people struggle with confidence, let's talk about the solution. Confidence isn't just about speaking well. It starts in your mind. Many learners mistakenly believe that they need to be perfect to be confident, but that's not true at all. Real confidence comes from accepting your mistakes and focusing on progress, not perfection. Think about how children learn to talk. They make mistakes all the time. They mispronounce words, they use incorrect grammar, but do they stop? No. They keep trying, they keep talking, and that's how they learn and become fluent. We should adopt the same attitude. So, the first mindset shift is to see mistakes as learning opportunities, not as failures. Every time you make a mistake, you are improving. You are getting valuable data on what you need to work on. Another powerful mindset shift is to practice positive self-talk. Many people say negative things to themselves, like, "My English is bad," or "I can't speak well." But what if you changed that inner voice? What if you started telling yourself, "I'm improving every day," or "I can communicate my ideas"? Your thoughts have a huge impact on your confidence. If you tell yourself you can't do something, you will feel nervous and you probably won't be able to do it. But if you tell yourself, "I am learning and I can do this," you will feel much more confident and you will perform better. I love this, and here's a quick confidence-building trick for our listeners. Every morning, I want you to stand in front of a mirror, look at yourself, and say one positive sentence about your English out loud. For example, "I am a good English speaker," or "I am improving every day," or "I am brave enough to speak today." This is a fantastic habit that can slowly rewire your brain for confidence. And one more thing, don't compare yourself to others. Everyone learns at their own pace. Your journey is unique. The only person you should compare yourself to is the person you were yesterday. Are you a little bit better than you were last week? If the answer is yes, then you are succeeding. Confidence is a personal journey, not a competition. Now that we've talked about the importance of mindset, let's get into some practical tips you can use to speak confidently. These are simple but powerful techniques that you can start using today. The first tip is to practice speaking every day, even if you're alone. You don't always need a partner to practice English. Just talk to yourself. You can describe your day, you can describe the things around you, or you can even read a book out loud. This is a great tip because speaking out loud trains your brain and your mouth to work together. It builds the muscle memory of speaking. And if you feel shy, you can start by recording yourself on your phone and listening to your own voice. Here's the second tip. Use simple sentences. Many learners feel nervous because they try to speak in long, complex sentences that they are not ready for. But confidence comes from being clear, not from being complicated. That's so true. Even native speakers use simple, short sentences in most daily conversations. Instead of trying to say a long sentence like, "I would like to acquire some important information from you regarding the schedule for next week's meeting," just say, "Can you tell me about next week's meeting schedule?" Keep it natural and easy. Now, the third tip is to focus on fluency, not on grammar. I love this one. Many learners will stop in the middle of a sentence to think about grammar rules. But that only makes them more nervous and breaks the flow of the conversation. The key is to keep talking, even if you make small mistakes. Think about it this way. Speaking is about communication, not about perfection. If someone understands your message, then your English is working. That's a great way to see it. The fourth tip is to use your body language and facial expressions. Confidence isn't just about the words you say. It's also about how you say them. When you speak, you should smile, make eye contact, and use hand gestures. This makes you look more confident. And guess what? When you look confident, you actually start to feel more confident. It's a powerful psychological trick. And our final tip in this section is to slow down and breathe. When people are nervous, they tend to speak too fast, which can cause them to make more mistakes. Taking a deep breath before you speak can calm your nerves and help you sound more confident. Plus, when you speak slowly, it gives your brain more time to think, and it makes it easier for other people to understand you. So, let's quickly review these 5 powerful tips. 1. Practice speaking every day. 2. Use simple sentences. 3. Focus on fluency, not grammar. 4. Use confident body language. And 5. Slow down and breathe. Now that we know the key tips for speaking confidently, let's talk about something very important: how to stay confident in different real-life situations. Because let's be honest, our confidence levels can change depending on where we are and who we are talking to. You might feel confident talking to a friend, but feel nervous speaking to a stranger or in a professional setting. But don't worry, we're going to share strategies for different situations. Let's start with talking to strangers in public, for example, ordering food in a restaurant or asking for directions. My advice here is to keep your sentences short and clear. Instead of thinking about long, complex sentences, just say what you need directly. For example, instead of trying to say, "Could you kindly provide me with directions to the nearest train station?" just say, "Excuse me, where's the train station?" Also, don't be afraid to ask people to repeat themselves. If you don't understand something, it's perfectly okay to say, "Could you say that again, please?" Or, "Can you speak a little slower, please?" Most people are very happy to help, so there's no need to feel embarrassed. All right, what about speaking confidently in a group conversation? This is a good one. Many learners feel nervous in a group because they think they won't be able to keep up with the conversation. My tip here is to listen first, and then add your thoughts. You don't have to talk all the time. You can just say a short sentence like, "That's an interesting point," or "I agree with that," to show that you are part of the conversation. And if you want to say more, you can try repeating part of what someone else said before adding your own opinion. For example, you could say, "I agree with you that learning English is easier when you practice daily. I also think that." This is a great trick that helps you sound very natural in conversations. Now, let's move on to a more formal situation, like job interviews or speaking in work meetings. This is a big one for many people. The key here is preparation. If you're going to a job interview, you should practice answering common interview questions in English. You can write down some key points you want to make and practice saying them out loud. And another important tip is to speak slowly and clearly. Many people rush because they're nervous, but speaking slowly actually makes you sound more confident and in control. And don't forget your posture and eye contact. Even if you feel nervous on the inside, sitting or standing up straight with your shoulders back makes you look and feel more confident. One of the biggest things that stops people from speaking confidently is the fear of judgment. They worry, "What if I make a mistake?" Or, "What if people laugh at me?" This fear is completely normal. But here's the truth. Most people don't care about your small mistakes. They are focused on understanding what you're saying, not on how perfect your grammar is. Think about it. When someone speaks your native language with a few mistakes, do you judge them? No. You're just happy that you can communicate with them. It's the same with English. Another way to overcome this fear is to reframe how you see mistakes. See them as progress. Every mistake you make means you are learning something new. Mistakes are proof that you are improving. And here's another tip. Surround yourself with supportive people. If you practice with kind friends or in a supportive English-speaking group, you'll feel more comfortable and you'll realize that no one is judging you. And one more thing, stop being your own biggest critic. Many learners judge themselves too harshly. Instead of thinking, "I sound so bad," you should change that thought to, "I am improving every time I speak." Be kind to yourself. Focus on your progress. Once you stop worrying so much about judgment, you will feel so much more free and confident. Now that we've talked about overcoming fear, let's focus on something very important. Daily habits to build long-term speaking confidence. Confidence doesn't come in one day. It grows when you practice every day. And the good news is, you don't need a lot of time. Even 10 to 15 minutes a day can make a huge difference. The first daily habit is to talk to yourself in English. It might sound funny, but it really works. Every morning or evening, describe your day out loud. For example, today I woke up early. I had breakfast. I went to work. This helps you get comfortable forming sentences without any pressure. Another daily habit is shadowing. Shadowing is a great technique where you listen to a native speaker and repeat what they say immediately. You can do this with podcasts, audiobooks, or YouTube videos. This is such a great way to improve your pronunciation and your fluency. A third daily habit is reading out loud. Take any book, article, or even a social media post, and read it out loud to practice your speaking skills. Reading out loud trains your mouth to say English words naturally. And one more habit is to record yourself speaking. This is a very powerful one. When you record yourself, you can listen back and hear your own progress. You might think you sound bad at first, but over time, you will notice big improvements in your clarity and your confidence. So, to summarize these daily speaking habits: 1. Talk to yourself in English. 2. Practice shadowing with native speakers. 3. Read out loud every day. And 4. Record yourself and listen to your progress. If you do these for just a few minutes each day, your speaking confidence will grow faster than you think. The final secret. We've covered so much today, from understanding the struggles with confidence to practical tips and daily habits. You now have everything you need to start speaking confidently, anywhere. And now, I want to remind all of our listeners of something important. Confidence is not about being perfect. It's about trying, learning, and improving every single day. Every great English speaker started as a beginner. The difference between them and those who never improve is consistent practice and persistence. So, don't wait for the perfect moment to start speaking English. The perfect moment is right now. And now for the secret I promised at the beginning. The single most powerful secret to speaking confidently is this: stop focusing on yourself and start focusing on the other person. When you are nervous, you are thinking about yourself. How do I sound? What if I make a mistake? What will they think of me? But when you shift your focus completely to the person you are talking to, your fear starts to disappear. Focus on understanding them. Focus on connecting with them. Focus on sharing your message with them. When you make the conversation about the other person, not about yourself, your confidence will naturally follow. So, our final message to you is this: believe in yourself, take action, and never stop learning. English fluency is waiting for you. Go get it. Please like, share, and subscribe to the Wisdom English podcast channel to watch our next videos.